There's a real art form to writing on a whiteboard. So the one that you need, it's like that shape. It's like a chisel-y top. Are you bored? Fuck off.
You're not allowed to open it yet.
What is that?
You can't open it.
It looks old and creepy.
So, no. So last week, I brought you a piece of exercise equipment. This week I've got you something else. But you got to wait till the end to actually have a look at it.
Is what's in here, did it come in this?
No, this is a
This is a special box. It looks
I
like
bought it
it's...
from Officeworks ages ago, and I had it, so...
It looks like it's straight from the Addams families.
So, what's in here you'll find out at the end, and then we're going to do something with it.
Right.
You nervous?
A little bit. It's a bit disconcerting.
All right.
Episode 4. I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Go.
3 things we're doing today.
Again, no planning. Well, no planning for me. It's actually pretty good because you guys don't want you to do anything, just turn up.
Yeah.
So here I am, turning up.
First one. What's going on? Have you run out of black textures? Because all your whiteboard codes are in blue now.
I have actually literally, it's funny because a couple of people have written, oh, I really like the blue. It's like,
really?
Yeah, it's less intense, it's less dark. I don't know why I spoke like that then. But I literally, my black, well, I've got the big fat black one that I wrote on at the start of the app.
Yeah.
But that's fading. But there's a real art form to writing on a whiteboard. So the one that you need, it's like that shape. It's like a chisel-y top. Are you bored? Fuck off.
All right, no.
Art people care.
It's actually formed the first topic that we're going to talk about.
Yes, I ran out of black. I'm writing with blue.
But when I saw it, I was like, what's going on here? What's happening here?
Change.
Yeah, it was
change. Did it mess with your head?
It did a little bit, which is why we're going to talk about change.
Right.
And people's aversion to change. Because a mate of mine I was speaking with over the weekend, I put him forward for a job.
Right.
A good paying job. He had an interview.
Right.
And I spoke to him and he was umming and ahhing about it. I was like, mate, what's going on? It's better money. Like, are you happy in your job that you've got? And he's like, yeah. I was like, then what's the problem? He's like, oh, it's just scary. It's like change.
Yeah. The dichotomy is, do you like that word?
Yeah.
The dichotomy is with change. On the one hand, we kind of want change, which is the common denominator with most of us, especially when we, join a gym or sign up for something or enroll in a program or do a diet or whatever. So we want to create some change, but at the same time, we don't necessarily want the process. So we want to be different, but to be different, in order to be different, we need to get uncomfortable, do hard things, deal with stuff that's unfamiliar and a bit scary and a bit unknown and a bit unpredictable and a bit uncertain. And all of that stuff is where the growth happens and the change happens for most things. But that's also, all of that stuff is what we want to naturally avoid because our default setting is we want to be safe and familiar and comfortable. And so there's the, yes, I want to be 10 or 20 kilos lighter and leaner and fitter and healthier, but I don't want to do the work because I fucking love cheeseburgers. So there's a bit of that, you know, so there's the, or I love sitting on the couch or, so everything comes at a cost. So with your mate, there's the certainty of what he knows now, which might be a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10, the certainty of that. And there's a level of comfort in that he knows what's coming. It's not awesome, but it's not terrifying. And there's a level of predictability, which gives him, that kind of comfort that I spoke about. Then there's the, well, this might lead to a 7 or 8 out of 10, which would be awesome, but I don't know for sure. What if it ends up being a 2 and I've left a 4? So there's a little bit of that. That's probably for most people, that's the biggest hurdle to creating lasting positive change, full stop, is that they don't necessarily want to go into that space that's uncomfortable, uncertain, unfamiliar, and unknown.
So I think most people could probably say that change is, the thing that they're scared about a change is the fear and it being uncomfortable. But what's a way to kick it in the dick? Like, how do you... Because for me, my default setting is to... I like change. I've always loved sort of mixing things up, and maybe too much. Maybe I like changing because I'm scared of what this will bring me.
Well, you maybe like some change, but not other change.
Yeah,
you know, there's certain things that you go,
I'm talking positive change.
Yeah,
excelling my life.
Well, I mean, in terms of creating positive, it depends what we're talking about, but positive shift, generally to chunk it down, to go, all right, it's like, for example, I'm terrified of running a marathon. I can't run a marathon. You know, I've never run more than 2 kilometres. The notion of me at, 43 or whatever, who I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about a hypothetical 43-year-old. It's overwhelming, so they never do it. So, well, you don't do your first fucking run as 42 Ks. So what you do is you go, well, why don't I do a 5K walk, jog?
Yeah.
And then in a week or 2 or 3 or 4, I'll be doing a 5K jog walk. Then in 6 or 8 weeks, I'll be doing a 5K jog. Then I'll do a 7 jog up to a 10K jog. And then in 3 months, I might be doing a run jog for 10. And so you graduate it. So you start with the end in mind, but you chunk it right down. So you go, well, what can I do? So rather than going, well, the thought of me doing that terrifies me. All right, well, what's a step along the way that's still a bit scary, but you reckon you can get your head around? Let's start there. Because when we do a thing that scares us, or when we do something that's uncomfortable, or when we enter territory that's unfamiliar and we don't die, the byproduct is that we grow, that we change, that we adapt. And all of this stuff, whether it's in the gym or whether it's outside the gym, whether it's in the context of a marriage or friendships or building a business, it's largely about our ability to adapt to the unknown and to adapt to, a dynamic world. Everything that around us is dynamic. Everything's changing. And so if we're stagnant, if we're mentally and emotionally and socially and intellectually and academically, maybe even for some people, if we're stagnant, we're going to get left behind. So it's part of our kind of organic role in life is to keep learning, keep upskilling, keep doing new things and keep having new experiences.
Small steps.
Yep.
Next one, goal setting.
Yes.
We've talked about this, and I mentioned that I had a goal from years ago when I first came to one of your camps. I remember speaking to you about it, and it was like, I want to be on TV. I want to be a TV presenter.
How long ago was that? What are you now, 20 what?
I'm 27.
Right, so when was that?
I was 19.
Well, you're super handsome.
Thank you. I was just saying his hair. We're just giving each other compliments now. Back to it.
That was very good. Because when you say to stop fucking around with your hair, when you say to somebody something like that, most people really deflect. But your self-esteem's pretty good, which is good. No, it's good. No, you certainly.
It was from this camp I went on when I was 19. It really helped me.
Yeah, that's right. Do you think that was the turning point for you, Tommy?
Yeah, it was. I was sitting there. No, I was actually sitting talking to you. And I remember telling you what I wanted to do. I wrote that down, and then I kind of just got to work about doing the stuff to get there.
Yeah.
When I did, I managed to do it. I got asked to do this show, right?
Yes.
I wasn't really fazed.
Yes.
Because it was so many years later. It was only last year. So it was like 7 years later. Yeah. And I didn't really feel as attached to the goal as I once was. My point, and I want to talk about goal setting.
Really interesting, yeah.
And do you set goals?
I do set goals, but probably not in a typical way. But the interesting thing about goals is that, so when we talk about a goal, we generally talk about something that's quite definable or something that's quite specific. So let's have an example. So we go, I want to earn 200 grand a year. That's a goal. I want to lose 10 kilos. That's a goal. I want to be on TV. That's a goal. I want to write a book. That's a goal. So they're all very definable and measurable and precise in that you're either going to do that or you're not going to do that. So you either earned that, did that, achieved that, or you didn't. So it's quite black and white. But then the more important question is, because this is the real issue, is why do you want that? Because what you want is not really what you want. Why you want it is what you really want. So there's the thing, and then there's the desired outcome. So what do I mean? So I want to lose 20 kilos because I'm 20 kilos overweight. And what that means for me personally is I'm unhappy, I'm miserable, I hate my body, I've got low self-esteem, I can't wear the clothes I want, I don't think I'm attractive, other people don't think I'm attractive, I can't find a partner, blah, 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 blah. So I want to lose the weight because I think it'll change all of that stuff. I want to lose the weight because I want to be attractive to a potential partner. I want to have better self-esteem. I want to be able to wear whatever I want. That's what I really want. And the weight loss is really just a mechanism or a gateway to that thing. So too, I want to earn 200 grand. Okay, why do you want to earn 200 grand? Well, I want less financial pressure. I want to be able to drive that, live there, eat this, do that, wah, wah, wah. So it's really just that we see the 200 grand as a pathway to the thing that we really want.
Yeah.
The other thing with goals that's really interesting is quite often the thing we want doesn't deliver what we really want, so we achieve it. So how many women and men have I worked with over the years that have gone, God, if I only looked like that, felt like that, or had this body fat, and then they get to that point and they're as emotionally and mentally dysfunctional and or miserable than they were as they were at the start. So you go, well, maybe it's not a physiological problem. Maybe it's an emotional or psychological issue that can't be fixed with abs or lower body fat. Or maybe the thing that you really want, which is approval or love or acceptance, can't be created through a 200K job. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. So it's trying to understand, one, what we want, which is goals, but two, more importantly, why we want it. Because if I'm goal setting with you, I'm interested in your what, but I'm more interested in the motivation behind those things, because that tells me really what's driving you. They're your real drivers.
So for me, that goal I was talking about, I never thought about what it would mean when I got there.
Yeah.
But I was hell-bent. So I guess there'll be a lot of people that think they have a goal. So what's the step-by-step? Because I've looked up goal setting online.
So I mean, there's all those protocols like SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, reality-based, time-based, right? But so my thing is get clear about what you want, but then at the same time why you want it, right? And then don't overthink it. Then as soon as you go, this is what I want and I'm certain, then take action. Take action. Do research, talk to other people, learn, educate yourself, have an experience, but do something, do anything that will get you closer, that will get you, if there's the path, get something, do something that will get you there. Yeah. So create momentum, because once you create momentum, it's much easier.
What about visualization? Because I know I write it down maybe at the start.
Yeah.
And then I just get it in my mind.
Yes.
And then I start thinking about every aspect of it and trying to do anything I can to achieve it. Is that something you should do? Visualize?
I think different things work for different people. I'll give you a quick example. So when I wanted to set up my first studio, which was in 1990, so I started the process in 1988. But so when I set up Harper's, which was the creative name for my gym, so I was having a bad day. I knew exactly what it would look like. I knew everything would be, what equipment I would have, where the TVs would be, how high the mirrors would be off the ground, the weighting. I knew everything because I'd planned it for 2 years in my head. I'd been constantly planning, thinking, researching, lying in bed at night, visualizing what that would look like. So when it came to fruition, I'm like, yep, that's it. So do I think visualization helps on a practical level? Yes. Also on an emotional and an energetic level, in that it keeps our head and our heart in the game to picture where it is you want to be and what it is you want to create.
Yeah, good. All right.
Thank you. So not shit, good.
No, that's not shit. It was good.
Yeah.
Got a few little take-homes from that.
Yeah,
but what about you? You didn't answer your question.
Yeah, I do goal set. Yeah, I do goal set. So, but I don't sit there. I used to actually have a whole kind of process.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. So, I mean, and I say this to people often, if my life never gets any better than it is right now, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like my life's good. And I think for me, because I was, like a slippery slope high achiever. I've got, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when person. And then, without being too deep and philosophical, I went to South Africa about a decade ago with a friend of mine. In fact, longer, 15 years ago with a friend of mine, and did some work with kids with AIDS. And I spent a while there and worked with kids between newborn and 5. And it totally changed me in one day.
Really?
One day. One day, my perspective changed and I realised, and without being too weird deep, but it's just true, I realised I had no real problems, and I realised the way that I saw the world and myself in the world was not as healthy perspective as I could have. And so I came back, and you know, I still stuff up, but I'm acutely aware that my life is awesome, and that I'm lucky or blessed or whatever you want to call it, and that I have no problems, so to speak. No, in the context of humanity, no problems.
Yeah. There you go.
So I'm very content. I still have stuff that I'd love to do, you know, I love doing this with you. Yeah. And, you know, we had a chat before, we had a thing, and I'd like this to grow and evolve, and it may or it may not. And if it does, awesome, and if it doesn't, that's cool. You know,
I'll be going to South Africa.
That's right.
Perspective on
it. Oh, but you know what I mean? It's like hang out with somebody who has real problems, and all of a sudden you go, yeah, I'm a dickhead. So, you know, it's. I think that what is great for us, what is healthy for us, is to sometimes get out of our reality, and that's the hardest thing to do, because the window from which we view the world is our reality. And so, if I really want a different paradigm or a new perspective, I need to walk away from my window, metaphorically, and have a look through someone else's.
It's time.
Oh, this? I forgot all about that fucking ugly thing. What? Last week it was the vibrating thing from the 70s. Oh, yeah, Tommy. Ha. Oh, giddy up. Oh. Is it creepy or just take it off?
Just open it.
It's great to work out and be in shape, but a fuckwit with abs is still a fuckwit.
I thought when you're at the gym, you need a bit of inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
And so if it's on your workout towel.
Yeah. Some days I'm a bulletproof bag of awesomeness and inspiration, and some days I'm a Hessian bag of mediocrity and dog shit, but every day I own up, show up and step up.
That's your quote, mate.
That is my quote. Well done by you. That's quite an investment.
So I think we should give these away.
Will I sign them, or will that fuck it up?
Well, I think they look pretty good as they are.
Oh, well, what about a real signature?
Yeah, give them a signature.
So I'll sign them both?
Tag your gym buddy or someone you work out with, go for a walk, whatever it is.
Right.
In the comments section below, and we'll pick 2 winners at random.
Well, you could even just probably turn that into, I think, some kind of bib. Actually, oh, am I stuffing up my microphone?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, probably not a bib. Well, it's been real, Tommy.
There you go.
Have a good week, folks. See you. Are we done?
All I will say is next week.
What's going on next week?
I've got another piece of exercise equipment.
Really?
This is going to be good.
I will say, if there's anything that you would like me to talk about or explore, you know, and it's either a fun thing or a semi-serious thing or something around performance or mindset, give us a yell.
Comment below.
Yeah. See you next time.
Cut.